Hey friend, welcome. I am shipping out 8 things today. June stunk bad for me, and I'm really disappointed because May was so good and June stunk. So after I package these up, and you can ship with me if you want, I will share with you my June numbers as well as some really good things that sold and some things that sold. But we'll talk about that in a minute. First, I'm going to ship. If you want to skip the shipping part, there will be timestamps in the description. So this is what sold the last day of June and the first day of July. Because it's July, so I'm hoping that things are going to pick back up and do a little better. I sold 8 things over 2 days. That's 4 things a day. That's not ideal. I want to be at like 8 items a day. Check this beauty out. That is a studded silk bomber jacket. Isn't that cool? It is vintage, I'm pretty sure. The brand is Foo Da International. And yeah, it's cool. So I found this at a thrift store in a different town than where I live. I went specifically because they were having a half off sale and I had happened upon it accidentally prior. And I had just sold another silk bomber jacket recently, or like, you know, right before I went to that sale. So when I found this, I picked it up. I paid $2.50 for it. The buyer paid $25.95, and after fees and shipping, my profit is $15.54. So that's not bad. It is just shipping first class. So I'm just gonna put it in a poly mailer, just one that I get off of Amazon, and I wrap my things in tissue paper and add a little thank you sticker, and that's pretty much how I ship my first class clothing. First class is anything that's under a pound. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Jen. I'm fairly new at reselling. I think this is my 9th month reselling and I'm having so much fun. My goal is to make about $1,000 to put into my family's account. So really I want to make $2,000. We'll talk about that in a bit. Welcome to my shipping station, also known as my living room floor. This is a Vineyard Vines little kid t-shirt with a little football whale on it. So if you have seen any of my videos, there are some brands that when I see them, I get excited because I don't ever find them in my little small Midwest town. And we were shopping, thrifting in Buffalo, New York, Western New York, and my husband actually found this little guy, and it's just a kid's shirt. So I was really excited about it. I only paid $1 for it. The buyer paid $11.20. So after fees and shipping, my profit is only $4.35. But, you know, I can go buy a coffee with that. And if you are at all interested in seeing what else we got in Western New York, you can check out that video up here a little bit later. These are Carhartt, and they are just like long john thermal underwear. I did not use underwear because you can't actually sell used underwear on eBay, which I'm kind of glad about. But, you know, thermal long johns, like a base layer kind of thing. I don't see an issue with it. Maybe there is an issue, but I don't know. I bought these at a Goodwill for $1.80. The buyer paid $14.90. That's what the buyer paid for the item, as well as the shipping costs that they pay, because that all comes to me and then I pay the shipping out of that. eBay takes care of all the taxes and I don't have to worry about that at all. The sales tax, I mean. So after fees and shipping, my profit on these is $6.02. This is the brand Life is Good, and it says, take me to the ocean. I have had 3 of these shirts now. Sell. So they don't sell for a lot of money, but they sell fairly quickly in my experience. This one I did buy at a yard sale. I spent $2.42. Now obviously that was my average cost of goods because I don't remember exactly what I paid for it, but probably between 50 cents and $2. So the average cost of goods is probably more than what I actually paid for it, but it all works out, right? So the buyer paid $15.25 after fees and shipping. My profit on this is only $6.24. I'm fine with that because it sold really quickly, and that's what I like, a quick turnover, and I, tripled my money. This I found, I went to a thrift store on Memorial Day and it happened to be half off. I had no idea. It was a Salvation Army in another town. My family and I had gone, I want to say kayaking, maybe hiking. I don't really remember. We were out in the woods and I asked my husband if he wouldn't mind stopping at a yard sale because we were in a fairly affluent area, and when we're in fairly affluent areas, I like to stop at thrift stores and see what they have. So this is a Brooks Brothers shirt, like a button-up, I almost said blouse, it's a man's shirt, but this, it says Thomas Mason Superfine Italian Shirting Fabrics. So I did comp this. So when I say comp, it's a comparison. I looked on eBay and saw what items were listed, how much they were listed for, how many items were sold, what they were sold for. And based on the comps, and I don't remember because it was like a month ago, I did go ahead and buy it. And when I got it home, I realized it had some pretty bad staining on the collar. I don't know if I just didn't pay attention or if the lighting was weird in the store, which is often the case. I did give it a good soak. That helped a little, but I disclosed it. I took pictures of it. What are you gonna do? I did spend $3 on this shirt. The buyer paid $25.90. So after fees and shipping, my profit is still $15.07. I'm assuming I probably could have gotten more had the shirt not had the little bit of staining in the collar. These are Nike Dry Fit mock neck t-shirts. There were 2 of them and they were the same size. And so I lotted them up. I did have a long sleeve Under Armour mock shirt sell very quickly, and so that's why I decided that these might be a good thing to buy to resell. I don't know what it is about the mock turtleneck, but it seems to sell for me. I did buy these at my favorite thrift store. My average cost of goods was 54 cents. I think that when I averaged it, I just did both of them together as one item because I knew I was going to sell them together. The buyer paid $37.87. So after fees and shipping, my profit on this is $26.07. That low cost of goods is so helpful for me on a lot of these items. You may notice that I'm writing on my packages. I don't have a thermal label printer. That's a lie. I have one. I bought one. I just don't have it hooked up yet. And that's because my system with the QR codes is working really well for me. And I'm kind of like a, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of a gal. I probably need to get that thermal printer hooked up. However, if you don't have a thermal printer and you're thinking, I really would like to ship on eBay and I don't know how to do that, I have a video showing how I do the QR codes. It's so simple for me, and the post office ladies are great and they are sweet to me. And anyway, this is a pair of overalls and I really enjoy overalls. These are vintage. These are Robux, and the only reason I know that is because it says it on the button. So that is a trick I learned from another YouTube seller. I love learning things like that. If there's not a label, look on the button and see if you can find the brand from that. These I also bought at a garage sale, and my average cost of goods for the garage sales that day was $3.54. The buyer paid $45.87 for these, so after fees and shipping, my profit is $27.40. So those last two make up for the first three, right? These are obviously going to be over a pound. Denim often is, and if I can fit denim in a padded flat rate mailer, I will. However, overalls are a little tricky because they can be big and bulky, and those padded flat rates just don't have much give to them. So I like to use a Tyvek mailer. You get this priority shipping stuff free from the post office. My post office ladies just hand it to me when I ask for it. I have ordered them online, and you can do that at USPS.com, and it's all free, and they'll ship it to your door. However, I have only ever had one package arrive at my door, so I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, or if I don't know. My post office is always happy to give me shipping supplies. I just ask for it at the window when I'm there anyway. So these Tyvek mailers are water resistant, but I don't think that they stick very well, so I always reinforce with tape. So the last item is another first class, but I am actually going to put this one in a box. This is an 8x6x4. I'm pretty sure I just bought them on eBay. And I know you can get some boxes with your eBay shipping coupon. If you have an eBay store, you get a shipping coupon every quarter, and now it's a new quarter, so you can use your shipping coupon. Anyway, this is a hat. I really like selling hats. Often I can get them for very cheap. In fact, I try not to ever pay more than $1. Sometimes weird stuff sells, and so often if I don't know what something is in a hat, I will pick it up. They store very compactly, so I have probably 50 or so hats, and they all are in just one bin, which is amazing. So this says Duff Beer, and it actually has a can opener, bottle opener on it for those times when you need a can or bottle opener and don't have one. I didn't really realize it when I picked it up, but it is actually The Simpsons. So I've never really got into The Simpsons. So I think that that's a Duff Beers from the show. I don't really know. Anyway, I sold this hat. I did find this at the bins. The bins are a great place for me to pick up hats. The way I do my average cost of goods for the bins, I ended up saying the hats were 90 cents each. So the buyer paid $25.85 for this. So after fees and shipping, my profit is $16.07 on a hat. And so I'm very pleased with that. I'm done. My sad little shipping here. So I am going to pack all this up and head to the post office, and then we'll chat about my June. So let's chat June numbers. These are just numbers that are interesting to me, and then I'll share with you some specific sales that were really good and a couple that were like, meh, whatever. So my sales overall were down 36%. So I had in April 178 items sell, and in June only 113 items sold. Seriously, this was my lowest month in 2022, just overall across the board. My gross sales were down 43% from in May, they were $4,457, and in June my gross sales were $2,533.71. My net is also down 37% from $2,409 to $1,380.91. My goal was $2,000 because I like to put half of what I make back into my household budget. So things for dance and soccer and piano lessons and just the extra stuff that comes along with having a family of 6. And then a quarter of that goes into a savings account for taxes because this is taxable income. I'm not a tax expert, but I do know you have to pay taxes. So I don't know if 25% is good. I think that might be on the low side, but we'll see how it all shakes out in the end. And I do plan on chatting with a tax expert pretty soon here. So then a quarter of that then goes back into my business for buying more inventory and buying a thermal printer and buying packing tape and all the stuff. My cost of goods is where it's good, right? This is my saving grace in all of this. My cost of goods for the whole month, and this isn't what I spent, but what each item cost me. So my cost of goods was $187.15. So that is that's $1.60 is my average cost of good per item that sold in June. I should look up and see how much I actually spent in June, but I can tell you that I don't really think it was that much, maybe $300. I'm not sure. I'm a little behind in recording my receipts. So, I'm just not perfect. I'm not great with paperwork. That's not my strong suit. My average sale price also went down. It was going down significantly from January through May, or through April. It had gone back up in May, but now it's back down. It was $22. Right around $22 is my average sale price. I really would like that to be higher. My average profit per item was $12.22. I really would like that to be much higher, more around $20 an item. But you know what? When I first started like 9 months ago, I was happy with $7. So it's not that I'm mad about it. I just am a little bummed that June wasn't as great. I sold 9 items on Poshmark. The rest were on eBay. There were 65 women's items, 22 men's items, 6 hats, 4 purses, 6 pairs of women's shoes. 26 of the items that sold came from the Goodwill outlet, the bins. 25 of those items came from my favorite thrift store. 21 items came from garage sales. 19 items came from a local thrift store. Was mostly the thrift store that I got that had that half off sale, and then also they had a 75% off women's sale. And I have a haul from at least one of those. I'll link that up there if you want to check that out later. But I just got, because of those 2 sales, I got a lot of inventory from that place over the past couple months. So 19 items sold, 6 items sold from Goodwill. The interesting thing about that I saw was my average sale price from my Goodwill items was $30.73. I think it's because I'm a little more particular when I'm at Goodwill, and I comp things better when I'm at Goodwill because they just are priced higher, and so therefore I just don't want to spend as much money unless I'm going to make more money on the item. Does that make sense? So some interesting items that sold are some higher priced items that sold. The soft surroundings linen shirt sold for $36. I paid $1.87 for it. That was in one of the half off sales from that local thrift store. My profit was $29.87. I will say here, earlier I told you that when I say what it cost, it was what it cost plus the shipping. This does not include the shipping. Just so you know, and I know it's confusing, I'm sorry. This was very cool. This is a Tasha Polizzi. I'm not really sure. It was like very heavy linen, and it was like a blanket stitch. It was very cool. The buyer paid $35 for it. I paid $1.80 at the bins, and my profit was $29.84. This is a vintage skirt that sold for $23.37. I paid 40 cents for it at my favorite thrift store, and my profit was $26.07. And then look, another linen item. This is like 3 linen in a row, right? For $32.50. I paid $1.04 for it. Also, one of the items I picked up at the thrift store, that one was the 75% off sale. And so my profit was $26.88. This did not sell for a lot of money. This was a Top Gun crop top. What I wanted to say about this was I think it's important to kind of know what's happening in the world and what's trending. I am not a trendy person. I don't know anything of what's going on, but I knew Top Gun had just come out as a movie. And so when I found this crop top at the bins, I was like, oh, Top Gun's kind of a popular thing. So I grabbed it and it sold for $8.50. My profit was a whole $5.97. But you know, that's like tripling my money, and it sold very quickly once I listed it. Gloria Vanderbilt jeans. I found 2 pair of these at the bins, so my average cost of goods was $3.60 because I combined them, and they sold for $20. So $10 a piece, plus they paid priority shipping, so it probably paid $30. My profit is $13.89. This is an Eliza J dress, and this did come from Goodwill, and this is one of those examples where I found a few really nice dresses and I comped them to make sure that they would sell and sell for a decent amount of money. I thought I was going to get a little more money from this dress, like more like 40, but it did sell for $27.58. I bought it for $6.30 at the Goodwill, and my profit is $17.68. This Lululemon shirt sold super fast, like a couple days, maybe. I paid $2.57. That's an average cost of goods at a garage sale. I don't remember how much exactly I paid for it. Probably between 50 cents and $3. I think more along the $3 line. I don't remember. But my profit is $15.30. I just wanted to point that out just because it sold really fast. I don't have much experience with Lululemon because I don't find it often. I think I've only found one other pair of leggings, and they were rather worn, and my daughter grabbed them anyway. So I think this is the only Lululemon that I've ever sold. And then these Asics aren't like a brand that I would look out for, but I found them at my favorite thrift store, and the guy was like, here, you need to sell these. And the 2 older gentlemen that kind of run the place are just so sweet, and it's just so cheap there that I just was like, oh, okay, I will. And they sold for $30. So it did take quite a few months for them to sell, but I profited $23.68. So that's not terrible at all. Now, I did show you some of my higher priced items, but I want to tell you, okay, so out of the 100 and whatever odd things I sold in June, 5 of them, those are all things that sold on eBay, I should say. Okay, so this is all eBay. 5 of them were over $30. 7 items were between $20 and $30. Okay, $20 and $30. And then like 2001. Okay, and then between $0 and $10, and really I think $5 was my lowest, was 36 items. And so between $10 and $20 is 62 items. And probably I would say 75% of those were right around $15. So most of the things that I'm selling for $15. Those higher priced items do help, and you know, those are the ones I get excited about. But part of the things that helped my sales my profit were the items that I sold on Poshmark. I sold 9 items on Poshmark. I don't really know how to show you what I am listing very, very casually on Poshmark, but I did sell 4 pairs of shoes on there, a coat, like a very heavy wool coat from Banana Republic, and a plush, like a stuffed dog. And also a vintage, like a modest jean skirt, so a longer jean skirt is really cool. And then just a couple other really random things. a pair of shorts, and a pair of Sundance pants that I also got at the half off thrift store day. Maybe one day I will talk a little bit more about Poshmark, but I don't know much about Poshmark. I don't do it well. Like I said, I'm just kind of casually listing through Flip, and I don't love Flip. So the only thing I love about it is that it's free. A couple other, to me, interesting numbers. I sold 8 items that were linen. 8, that's a lot. The most expensive being that soft surroundings piece, and it was so pretty with all that embroidery on there. I sold 10 vintage items, 3 of which were actually vintage nightgowns, and I actually just posted on someone else's video who had sold a vintage nightgown, and I was like, I have a bunch of these and they're just not selling. And then I sold 3 this month, so all right around $15. 2 of them were like $15, and then this Pinehurst brand one sold for $20. So nothing super exciting about them other than they were vintage. The hats, I sold 6 hats, and the most expensive one you saw earlier when I was shipping. I sold 8 pairs of shoes. I did sell 2 scrubs this month. One was a top that sold for $9, and one was a pair of pants. They were Carhartt brand, and they sold for $10. So they don't sell for a lot of money, but just something extra. I sold 3 bras. I sold 4 bags. One was the most expensive bag that I sold for $18, and it was like this little leather bag from Greece. It was really cool. And I also sold this Digital Concepts camera bag, and it sold for $5.98, and I think that may have been like my lowest thing that I sold this month. I'm not really sure. I don't remember. I sold 4 swim items. One was a one piece, one was a pair of trunks, one was a full bikini, and one was just a bikini top. Oh, I did sell 1 plush, and it was like a stuffed animal, but it was like a lovey that I found in the bins, and it sold for $19.57. So, things like that can sell. And that was one that I did look up and comp and make sure that I was going to make some money on that. I thought it would be interesting too to see just some of the brands that I pick up kind of willy-nilly, and to see if I'm actually selling some of those brands. So Talbot's, I sold 1 item. Torrid, I sold 2 items. Levi's, 1 item. Chico's, 2 items. And Lucky Brand, I sold 3 items. So, and the Lucky Brand sold between $8 and $15. So, I'll make a ton of money on it, but when, I'm selling a few of them, then it adds up, and it all works out to, $1,300 in a month, which is not really terrible considering I'm new at this and I do this part-time. I list 10 items a day very consistently. I'm very consistent. I do all the things that you're supposed to do, and at least that I know of that you're supposed to do, and I still really just had kind of a crummy month. It wasn't a terrible month, but just when I'm hoping to get better and better at this and then kind of taking a step back. I don't know. I am planning to shoot for 2,000 in profit in July, and I've started off pretty well. I did a 4th of July sale in my eBay store, so hopefully that will work. I think I've sold about 10 items so far this week, so we shall see. I would like to be selling about 10 items a day if I'm listing 10 items a day, but I'm learning. I'm trying to source better and buy items that are more desirable, that are higher priced, that have a high sell-through rate, so that my items will actually sell and I don't just have a garage storage full of things that aren't going to sell. So thanks so much for chatting with me, listening to my June numbers. Please let me know, how did June go for you? And what is your goal for July? Let me know in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a like, a thumbs up, and you can subscribe right here. They tell me it helps to grow my YouTube channel, and I would just really love it if you would help me, as I'm kind of just a little baby YouTuber right now. You can also watch another video right here. I have another one coming up next week with a haul that I went thrifting 4 different days over the 4th of July weekend. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon.